welcome to Oh Brother, a podcast of three brothers trying to figure it all out, with your hosts Brandon, Collin, and Aaron. On this week's show, third favorite ice cream. What's new?
There you go. You have to unmute before you can talk.
Yes, generally.
Not too much, really.
Oh, good.
Trying to survive summer school. That's what's happening.
Going well.
Well, I mean, it's going. So, sure. Well, it's fine. Only a week left. So there you go. That's good. That's the good news here.
Oh. Well, it's progressing, right? Not altering or...
Yes, correct. So, it's just, once again, I think it's one of those battling expectations about the maturity level that these kids currently are. It's like, why are you doing such weird little kid stuff? Oh, because you're weird little kids. I forgot. So it's
right. You're doing a grade younger than you usually do, right? Or two?
Yeah, I'm going to grade. Well, I have some of the kids that are going to be in sixth grade next year, but basically they're still like fifth graders, right? And about half the class is kids that are going to be in fourth grade.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They're
okay.
Or no, I mean fifth grade. That's what I meant.
Okay.
My friend has the fourth grade. Yeah, the kids that are going to be in fifth grade. So they're leaving fourth grade, going into fifth grade.
Yeah.
I got mixed up. So maturity wise, we're a little
different.
We're a little down there. Yeah. Just do weird things. I'm like, why are you doing? Oh wait. I know why you're doing that. Never mind.
That's what you do at this age.
Because you're 9. That's why.
Right.
Not used to that. It's a big difference between 11, 12, and 9. Like, oh boy.
Yeah, no, there really is. It just doesn't even sound... Man, 9 just sounds so different. Anyway. Because I'm thinking...
Yes, really.
5. So, yeah, 9.
Yeah. So, it's a little rough ski. But, we're going, hanging out, doing stuff. So, trying to survive the last week. It'll be good to go. So, it's fine. How about Aaron? How's Aaron doing?
Good.
Uh-oh. That sounds bad.
All right. So,
exasperated sigh.
I am playing Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild right now to calm the anger that I have for today. So, first thing, Shelby is gone for vacation. She is in New York. Drove her up at the airport at 4:00 in the morning. Out of there. Yeah. So I did that. And then let's see the day. Wednesday meetings. And then I've been dealing with a different county, like in their stuff. So what happens sometimes is other counties can get like super busy and they're like, hey, can you help us out? And we're like, sure, we can do that. So I got a case helping them out. It's like 3 hours away from me. But I'm like, hey, can I get some help? And they're like, why? And I was like, what do you mean, why? Because I'm helping you guys. And they're like, oh, well, just do whatever. No, not how any of this works. So been dealing with them and their lack of support or anything. That's been one issue. And then what else been doing? I've been trying to deal with a gnat issue. One of Shelby's mini plants has some gnats coming out of it. And so I've been trying to isolate and eradicate a gnat infestation from the plant. And then when I was transporting one of those set plants, gravity took hold and then just went meh, and then all of the dirt went onto the floor. So, then in staffing meetings, I've been still dealing with that stuff, and I just like right when like 5 o'clock hit, I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing anything else. I'm just going to sit here and do nothing. I DoorDash some Wingstop. I have sat here and played video games for
just
about
slaying bokoblins as you're playing,
an hour or whatever. And yeah, that has been the crux of the last 2 days. I'm very tired and very sleepy. Yeah, that's really about it. Like nothing like major, nothing like super to complain about. It's just mostly small, tedious things that could have very easily been handled by other people, but they're like, we're there. So that's what Aaron's life has been just the last 2 days.
So I must know, how does one eradicate gnats from a plant?
Yeah, what's the game?
What do you have to do?
So there's like there's like a special, it's like water and hydrogen peroxide mix that you can spray the soil, and it's supposed to like suffocate the gnats. I think I need to relook it up because I was literally thinking about that. But right now I've just been like isolating plants.
Just like put it outside. Like, here.
Yeah. So and because there's two things, or there's a few things honestly in life that like really like get on. Like I'm just like, I must kill, and gnats is one of them. And it's so infuriating to sit there at my little desk, be like, do type, and then be like, somebody attack me. Yeah, I'm dying. So it's just been like, if I see a gnat or I think it's a gnat, it could be like a dust particle. I don't know. I've been like spraying it and then like swatting at it. So I've been sitting here. Nothing's happened yet. And so if you hear me go, it's a gnat. So right now I'm doing fine. I'm just here vibing. But yes. So that like there's a certain sort of like chemical there. Like you could buy like a special thing, but for me, I've just been just relocating, and I think that's the formula. Comments below if that is not the correct.
We'll find out. Or do you just put it on the porch and let the birds deal with it? Here, birds and other bugs.
It's the bird's problem now.
Have fun. Right. Aphid, go.
Yeah. That's true. Or I guess Collin's friend could take care of them.
Yeah. You want me to bring over a big brown bat for you?
Oh,
okay. I was like, what? Yes.
So, yes. So, segueing stories, I need to hear, listeners, Collin just out of nowhere in the middle of the week sent a picture, as he often does, of something just randomly. And in this picture, he is holding a gigantic brown bat. Just like no caption. No context.
I mean,
just 3 pictures of a bat. Like him holding it. He's wearing gloves. Obviously, that sucker's got some teeth on him. Holy cow! I was unaware.
Oh yeah,
he's just holding this bat, and the wings. In my mind, this thing is like feet across. It isn't actually, but like it's.
Well, it is in fact a big brown bat. That's its name. So
officially, there we go. It's even in the genus. It's big
brown bat. Yeah. So, when did I send that photo? That was
I don't really know. I was just eating supper and was like, what is?
Yeah. So
the bat.
Megan
Susan was like, "What happened?" I was like, "You don't want to see this picture because she is not a fan of bats." So
Yeah, so
It appears to be Sunday. Yes, Sunday.
Sunday at 10 at night. Yeah, so Megan and I had just finished recording the
Well, I guess I wasn't eating. I guess we were watching a movie, I think.
yeah,
What happened.
we were just finished recording the pet podcast, and she goes downstairs to be with the dogs while I am editing and getting ready to upload. And she's texting me and she keeps saying, "Who's up?" And I'm like, "Nobody." She's like, somebody's making noise. Can you go make sure Lillian isn't in the hallway? Because she'll do that sometimes. She'll just kind of get out of bed.
She's a lurker. Yes.
Right.
As one does.
So I open my door, the office door, and I'm in the hallway, and I'm like, no. So I text her, and I'm like, literally nobody. She's like, no, I'm pretty sure I hear something. So I step out again, and something goes right above my head. And and I, kind of freak out a little bit. So I dive back into the office, grab my flashlight, and our ceilings in our upstairs are like, I don't know, 11 feet tall or so. They're tall. Like I can stand up and I cannot touch them with my hand. So they're up there ways. And I'm shining the light. I'm on the floor, and we also have transom windows above our doors, which let light and air into the bedroom. So I don't want to turn on all of the hallway light and then have kids awake and then be trying to catch bath.
That's true.
Whatever.
Because Lily would wake up then.
Yeah. So I'm shining my flashlight up, trying to see what it is, and all of a sudden, it's just like out of like a horror movie where the light is looking straight ahead, and there's this little tiny black object races from left to right, and then back. And I can't get a good look on it, and so finally, I stand up and I shine my light down the hallway instead of up at the ceiling, and then I get the full picture of, oh, those are the wing shapes of a bat. Why is there a bat in my house?
Yes,
and it's just, it's not clicking, it's not freaking out, it's just going about back and forth. And then it went downstairs and flew downstairs, and I'm like, Megan, it's a bat. And she's like, what? And I'm like, it's a bat. And what was kind of funny is,
yes, I imagine she handled this very well.
Yeah. What's kind of funny was while we were recording, every now and then the dogs downstairs would kind of start freaking out and barking, which happened, right?
Aha.
And I'd go down there, and I'd hush them and calm them, right? And I'd go back upstairs, and we'd record, and then they'd start up again. So I'd go back downstairs, and turns out there was a bat flying around in the kitchen and in the playroom. And then at some point, when I opened the door between the playroom and the living room, it went whoop, flew out into the living room, and it was like floating around the house while Megan and I recorded. And and so we get all the dogs in the back.
Well, yeah.
And now it's kind of like, okay, we've identified that we have Ann bat. What do we do? So I kind of opened.
That was my follow-up question.
Yeah.
How did you wrangle this back?
Yeah. So here's what happened. So I opened the front door with the hope, because it's just doing circles in our living room, with the hopes that it will find that new path, right? As it's scanning and hitting the wall, find an open gap and go through there.
And go, ooh.
It doesn't. It just keeps flying between our living room, living room, living room. And in the dining room, we have these beams that go kind of a hash mark across, and it keeps flying and then like litting on one of those, then kind of staring around, and then flying around, and then latching onto it, and then lying. And there's no way I can get up there. It is super tall in our dining room, right? Like I'd have to stand on our tall ladder to get up to change light bulbs in there. No way I'm getting up there. So I don't know. So what I do is I grab a blanket, and I'm standing kind of like in the blanket trying to create a new wall to try and get it and push it back towards the door. Unfortunately, a new wall that is me does not go all the way up to the ceiling. So it just keeps flying
over you.
Because it's like, oh, I can just go above this, whatever this is. Finally, it goes upstairs again. And I'm like, great. It's a narrower hallway, and I can get it isolated. I go upstairs, and it's so freaky because I literally saw it go upstairs, and then I can't find this thing. And I'm like, oh no, did it land on a transom window and then crawl through the gap and is now inside one of the kids' bedrooms. And I'm gonna
Oh, yeah. Oh no.
right. And so I'm creeping and I look around and I look over and it did not do that to the kids' bedroom, but it was almost getting ready to do that into our bath. So I was like, okay, well, at least there you are. So I take the blanket, and again, it's still too high for me to reach it. So I just kind of take the blanket and like throw it at the bat. And it does what I intended. It knocks the bat off and it lands on the ground. The unfortunate part was it landed on top of the blanket and not underneath it. And so it just gets up and flies away.
Oh no.
Before I can get down and grab it. So I go into my room and I grab my leather gloves and I'm like, okay, I don't know. I've got to do something. So I just kind of crouch down in the hallway and the bat's going back and forth, back. Eventually, I just take my blanket and throw it straight up into the air and time it so the bat hits it. Doesn't have a chance to course correct or anything because I can fill the hallway with the blanket and I throw it up. I hear it hit and it falls, and this time the blanket falls on top of the bat. But now I'm staring at a blanket with a bat somewhere underneath it.
Yes.
At this point,
you take a brown blanket
in a brown blanket.
Yes.
I should have just.
Oh, was it really brown blanket?
It was a dark brown blanket because that's what I had.
Oh, choices were made here.
Yes, choices were made. So I'm like, at this point, I should have just kind of bundled up the blanket and run outside, right, and then kind of shook it out. But I didn't want me to be running and then it find my forearm
and it like
latch on.
Yeah, that would have been bad news.
That would be bad.
Yes.
So I start carefully lifting up the corners, and as soon as I see a little wing flood out, I reach down and I grab that sucker, and and oh man, then it starts letting me know that it is not happy, right? And it is very upset that I have disturbed peace. So I take Steve downstairs, and I'm like, "Look, you can't live here anymore. It's been real fun." And I'm trying to get
like how you casually named him in all this whole entire escapade.
Well, you got to have a name for him. He's really cute. So I'm taking pictures. I'm just, Megan, take pictures of the bat. And she's like, I'd really rather you get out outside. And I'm like, I know. First, let's take pictures of me holding a bat. And
it's for science. You have to document it, obviously.
Yeah. And at that point is when I realized just like how big this thing actually was. Like I was pretty used to, I used to catch a lot of pipistrelles, like little tricolor bats when I helped out with mist netting as an undergraduate. And those things are about as big as your thumb. This thing is about as big as your palm, the one that I held.
Yeah.
Brown.
Most of the ones I've seen too around in caves or like in trees and stuff are the little ones. Or the small brown bats, right? The little tiny ones. They're just a couple inches long. That sucker was enormous.
This one was a lot bigger. And then, I'm looking at it and I've got gloves on. And one thing that I learned from when I was mist netting was you can distract them by letting them chew on your glove while you reposition your hand on it or something. Stick something in their mouth, they'll bite down. So I'm letting them do that so I can hold them better, so I can show the wings and stuff. And it, it's really cool. I'm really enjoying this. And I'm a little sad that the kids didn't get to see that or experience it. Obviously, not at 10 or 10:30 at night. So I go outside, and then I intend to just kind of let the bat go, and so I kind of open my hand up and kind of throw it to just toss it up a little bit, but it latches onto my hand as if to say, I'm not done yet. And then starts crawling frantically up my forearm.
No.
At which point I do lose it. And so if anybody was watching me in front of my yard go, as I flail my arms around, and the bat went off towards the street and then caught flight and went off up behind the house. But I kept perfectly composed right up until it was like marching up my forearm.
Crawling up your arm. Oh my gosh, no.
And it and then it flew out, and I panicked for a hot moment because it flew and then went straight behind me, which is my house, with the front door still open. But it veered off and went in between their two houses. And I genuinely think, so either there's a roost up in our attic that is somehow getting inside, which I don't know how it would be possible. Either it did that. I guess it could be in our attic and climbed down our chimney because our chimney's cut off and climbed past the 17 layers of insulation that I have stuffed up in there and got up into our house. Or Megan that night was on the back deck and had the back door open for a long time.
I think that's probably the most likely scenario.
I think so too, but also I don't know. So I'm like, I guess do need to go into our attic at some point.
in the proverbial belfry, right?
In the proverbial belfry to see if we have any more Aptesicus fuscus. Great big round bat. And yeah, that was fun. I really liked that a lot.
One of my favorite parts of the story, two favorite parts. First favorite part is I like how if you sneeze slightly too loud, Lily will like wake up and like wander out and be like, "What are you doing?" But you can have this whole escapade of like chasing a bat about the house.
And she is
not a fan.
Yeah. No.
It's really funny. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. Also, man, props to Megan for like hearing that in the first place and like calling attention to that, because that's pretty impressive. If it's just sort of like casually flying around, like they don't make a lot of noise, so that is some that's some like mom level 1,000 hearing right there. Like blim, that's some impressive stuff.
I know. I don't know if she was hearing it when it would like land and kind of scramble on a wall or a ledge or something, or if maybe Lillian was actually awake, but there also just happened to also be a bat around her house at 10 p.m. at night. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like she just said she heard something, right? And so,
or if it flew like over her head and she heard like the thrumming of the wings, you know, that like could be if it flew close to her, but like behind her so she couldn't see, you know.
Yeah. You know, and she was like, how
either way,
did I miss that for so long? Like, well, we're looking straight ahead. Our ceilings are super tall. If the bat's flying right at ceiling level, we don't have lights on in the house at nighttime except for some like low floor lights for kind of
like lamps and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Or at nighttime, not even that when we're downstairs. We just have ambient light from those little plug-in wall wart thingy, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, of course, you're not going to see that thing at all.
Oh yeah, no.
So yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was neat, and glad I had gloves upstairs in the garage.
Yes, good call there.
Yet another reason why I keep work gloves in my in my dresser. Wrangle bat.
There you go. It's Aaron. I think it's a bit of a letdown that the fish biologist didn't have any nets around, you know, just like
all the nature videos.
The streams guy has no fish nets in his house.
Turns out,
of all the nature videos I've ever seen, it's like pretty relatively graceful, like organized and catching a bat. And I kind of have this image of Collin like running around, like kind of like one of those like butterfly nets, just like flailing throughout the house, like just knocking things off. So like, oh, got it! Like that's how I kind of picture Collin doing this.
I was not expecting just haphazardly flinging blanket, though. That's what I was not expecting. It turns out,
right? See,
I should have been the whole time.
Expect that. So I was like,
should have been though.
At first, I was like, what? Yeah, because I had no idea. Like, literally, I just stood there for probably a good several minutes, just like processing. Okay, there's a bat in my house, and then like doing some risk assessment of like, okay, what's the worst that could happen? And I came upon like the worst that could happen is a dog jumps up and lunges at this bat, bites it, eats it. And I have to tell an owner that their dog ate a bat. That doesn't sound like a good conversation. And then it's like, well, like, and then it was truly just like, okay, I have a bat in my house. Now what? Right? Like now, what what do I have on hand that is going to help me with and bat?
Yeah.
Because it's like a pillowcase. No, that's too small. Like I need something big. That's why mist nets are huge.
Yeah.
Structure with very, very fine monofilament wires so that they can't pick them up. Like some bats can actually detect the knot when two monofilaments get looped together to create the netting. Some bats can hone in on the knot and avoid the net entirely.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
How small the knots are on like even like when you're
like super tiny
tying flies and stuff, how small those are.
Yeah.
These are sometimes smaller because they're actually a true monofilament. And some bats can pick up on those. So it's like, what I don't have, and I'm not going to be able to reach up and grab it, and I'm not going to wait for it to land to try and also grab it. Because again,
well, yeah, because they don't land super often.
No,
right when they're going around doing stuff, they're just like,
yeah, they go out, they literally fly the whole night and then go back and roost. So
yeah.
I landed upon the blanket, and it served me well. Top tip.
There you
You're
go.
needing to.
That's hilarious.
Use a blanket.
You washed the blanket afterwards, right? Like you didn't just put it back on Lily.
No, I snuggled back up in bed, wrapped it around my.
Okay, gotcha.
Gross. No, it's disgusting.
No. Yeah,
that's no.
And then
well, what an adventurous Sunday that you had.
Then literally the next day, I got to work, and Megan sent me a picture of a spider on the ceiling of our bedroom, and she was like, "You need to come get this." And so I got home.
Oh yeah, she doesn't do spiders at all, does she?
No,
like, not even a little bit.
This woman, I have stained and collected snail eggs in literally alligator infested waters in Texas, and she has not batted an eye at that. There's a spider on the ceiling in the other room, and it's like, nope, evac immediately. So I did come home, and it was a brown recluse the size of like $50. So
holy cow!
It was like
not usually that big.
It was like $0.75 of $50, but it could have easily wrapped but all of its legs around a quarter. That's all that I'll say that.
Yowza.
Yeah, this thing was huge. And I just stood up on the bed.
Ongoing end up in here.
Yeah, I know. So all my friends at work were like, what are you going to come home to today? And I was like, I don't know. I'm waiting for a snake to show up at this point. Like, I don't know. Let's just see.
It's true. Who knows? We've had a bunch of spiders in the house recently. It's that time of year. It's all nasty. Yeah. Found them in there. So we've been getting them. There's some in the garage too, but we have an agreement. You stay in the garage where you eat all the bugs. We're cool.
Line.
All right, you stay out here. Yeah, it's fine. You stay out here, hang out, whatever. But go in the house. Gotta get you, sorry. Because Shayna's like that. She does not do spiders at all. Like, even a little bit.
No, I get it. They, I'm one of those of like, I'm fine with them as long as I have eyes on them. It's the ones that you look at them and they're staring. Then you turn for.
Well, yeah, no, it's the surprise spider,
gone,
right?
You're like,
yes, that's or the one where you're just like, dude, and it's like right there, like right in front of you. Yeah. It's the surprise spiders that I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, nothing. It's kind of like the most horrifying in my mind the thing that scarred me the most from arachnophobia was when the lady is showering and the spider.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I can't. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. I can't.
Right.
No.
Right.
That's
nobody wants a shower spider.
No, they don't. That's happened here before too. Like we've had that happen a few times where Shayna also just be like, and like yell for one of us. And there's definitely a spider just like chilling on the shower curtain. So she was like, yes. Yeah, I can't. That movie, yeah, that's I know it's weird, and people look at me crazy when I say this, but that is the scariest movie I've ever seen in my life. Like, nope, I can't. Nope, I'm out. I'm not watching Arachnophobia again. I don't know if it holds up because again, I saw it when I was like 10 in my friend's basement, which coincidentally filled with spiders. So like,
that didn't help, did it?
And no, I'm out. And he was there. He was like just watching it. He like didn't care. He was like, whatever. And I was like, nope, all the nope. I can't. Not watching this movie.
I don't know what it is about that movie. Like specific. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Because it puts spiders in like very, very specific in like particular circumstances. I don't know. It just, yeah.
Yeah. Nope. I can't. Yeah. I don't. Nope.
So anyway.
Yeah. That's one of the scariest movies I've ever seen in my entire life. And I know that some people are going to find that statement odd, but nope. I'm not one.
And it was supposed to be like a horror comedy too, right? So it was supposed to be kind of funny.
I guess so. I don't really know. I don't remember.
I don't remember any comedy in that movie.
I probably wouldn't have the same reaction if I watched it now, but I'm also not going to find out.
No.
Because I don't.
No, I will literally.
Absolutely not.
There are some movies that are on my do not watch, like rewatch list, just like because they weren't good, or because they're like. But this one, it's not a fear I need to revisit, right? Like it's not. It's not something I need to face. It just needs to die silently in my memory as I age, right?
Yes, there are. I do have that list too. I have two lists. I have ones that are like ones that I don't need to watch again because they were so bad that I want to purge them from my brain. Right.
Yeah.
There's another category of movie that I have though that the movie is so like visceral and like distressing that I cannot watch it again. Like I don't want to watch it again.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
So there's some like that. Like the one is oh man, the name just escaped me while I'm thinking about it right now. I'll come up with it in a second, but Arachnophobia is on that list as well. But yeah, I can't. I don't. What is the name of that movie? That's gonna drive me crazy now. The one I don't ever watch. Oh, Requiem for a Dream. That's what it is. I had a brain fart there, but yeah, I'm not watching that movie again either. Once is exactly the right amount of times to see that movie.
I have not seen that one.
You're good.
Okay.
You're good. It's an extraordinarily graphic depiction of drug addiction.
Oh, okay.
And drug usage.
Yeah, it's pretty trippy, right?
Particularly heroin. Yeah, there's one part that's really trippy because his mom is on these like weird drugs, but like him and his friends are heroin addicts. And yeah. Nope.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like the effect that happens to them and like how it destroys their life and the things they have to do to get drugs and like, oh yeah. Yeah. Once is the correct number of times to see that movie.
Gotcha.
Yes. Oh man. Changing topics. Sure. To something more exciting, some better news, some more uplifting news.
Yes, we need. Yeah.
I watched. Amazon released the Clarksons Farm.
Oh, that was
stuff.
Yes.
Yo. All right. So spoiler-free edition here until you watch it. We can talk about it some more. I don't. First of all, know that I don't normally sit down and watch like whole episodes of things because my attention span does not deal well with that. I watch all of them on Saturday. I watch all 8 episodes on Saturday. I don't ever do that.
Oh my!
So there's that. I thought it was just going to be him being an idiot, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to watch it because I get that like. That uncomfortable feeling when you know people are doing something stupid and then they're like you're gonna have to see the consequences happening, you know, that kind of feeling of discomfort you get when you I get that a lot, and so I figured like that was gonna be the whole show. It was me being like, oh god, why are you doing that? I can't. Oh my goodness, what are you doing? But like, there are a lot of parts where he's like sincerely trying to do this and like make it work. There's a couple times where he's like, what about if I do it this way? And it just goes bad, right? Because he's like, well, I don't want to stop and turn around. What if I'd make my tractor go in this big loop pattern? Yeah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't work. But it's like genuinely a very interesting show and like a pretty, like, it's an interesting look into like certain kinds of farming that I was expecting. Partially because it's a little unfamiliar because it's like an English farm. And apparently has like 1,000 acres of English farm, which is kind of crazy. So like some of the way they do things are like not familiar, but then also some of it's just like, oh yeah, that's literally what my neighbors do. Like right here. That's just how they live their lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of this really interesting look at some stuff. He does have some weird ideas. Like his whole tangent about like sheep is really humorous, but it takes up a large part of the episodes. But like, it's actually pretty good. And I wasn't really expecting I wasn't expecting it to be like good thing to watch. I figured it was gonna be like literally a train wreck. But it's pretty cool. I really enjoyed it. So you guys should watch Clarksons Farm. So we can talk about it some more, but I thought it was pretty cool.
I saw a few reviews about it, and many people said, I didn't read anything about the synopsis or what the episodes were about because I didn't want to spoil any of them, but they just kind of like their big takeaways. Yeah. And one person was like, I came in this really wanting to hate this because I thought this was really stupid. And he was like, this is exactly right up my alley, and this is way better than the Grand Tour show and much more entertaining on many levels. And he just came across as really, really liking it. I was like, okay, like I need to stop.
Yeah, it came across as like, really genuine and earnest, right? Is the word that I would go for. Because, I figured part of me was like, I don't know, because he's going to like make a mockery of this whole thing, right? He's just going to be dumb and like ruin his whole stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I just figured that's what it would be like an old Top Gear episode where he just like completely blowing up everything, They did do farming. When they did the farming for the diesel fuel they accidentally played the diesel fuel stuff and they did the 24-hour race. Remember that episode where they just sort of like completely like screwed everything up? I figured it was just going to be that. But it wasn't. It was like him legitimately, as legitimately as possible, like learning things and attempting to do stuff. And he has like people there. He's like has hired people to help him do it, like local people and all that kind of stuff. And it was actually really interesting. So it was really good. I might watch it again, actually. I'm not sure. It was really cool. So like, yeah, I liked it. So that's the spoiler-free section.
Sweet. Okay.
We can do round 2 of spoilerinos if you guys watch any of it.
I was thinking about making that our challenge for next time. Just secretly. I know. I didn't know you were going to watch all of it. I know you said that you liked it.
I didn't either. Okay. I figured I was going to watch one. Whoopsie.
It's okay. So it's on my. I do really want that.
Okay. You can still watch it for next time. We can talk about it more. So we'll save that. We'll stop it there for now. But so Aaron, while Shelby's gone, you can watch a couple episodes of Clarksons Farm. Yeah.
Can do.
There you go. All right, sweet. Ugh. Well, then I have a question.
Okay.
And a bit of a quandary.
Question time.
So, on the entertainment front, as that seems to be a thing we talk about a lot.
Yeah.
So we have been watching, like, family movie time whenever Shane has been home and all this stuff, right? We're doing that. We've been watching the Harry Potter movies, right? Because she wanted to watch them again and she likes them and all that stuff. And she hasn't seen them in a while. And the first time she watched them, she was only like half watching them, so she was very confused about a lot of things. Anyway, so we reviewed the whole thing, and we finally finished. Okay, we finally finished the last movie, and then we got to a problem because she was like, "Wait, we've been watching like a movie series. What other movie series should we watch?" And I was thinking about it for a while, and there aren't just tons of them around, right? So I wanted to ask you, we're going to exclude any Lord of the Rings base material because we have covered that ad nauseum, right? We can wax poetically about how much we love that maybe at the end, but like,
Okay. So
I was wondering your thoughts on like a movie series. I don't know, like a series means probably more than two, I guess.
okay, that was my question. Is more than two?
Because most things don't have 7, right?
Like Fast and the Furious was the one I was going to throw in as a joke because they're up to like 14 or whatever.
Other than Fast and Infinity, like
you're right, because it is tough, especially because I'm going to throw in the like more family, because most of the movie series that immediately come to my mind, at least like other than like Land Before Time, are like like most of them are like horror or like action series, right? Where
yeah, so I had the same thought as the ones that jumped to my mind were like Friday the 13th. Like, wait, that's not a good one.
Yeah,
there's like 1,000 of those, but like you're right, like normal family time movies, there aren't any. I also forgot that there's like 14 Land Before Times.
Yeah,
I didn't. That's too many Land Before Time.
Yeah. So if we're going family, or like I don't know what like family, how you want to define like age group, but like I'm gonna say probably one of my next favorites, other than Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. Those are ruled out. Like
yes.
007 is a weird series, like because they're not strung together, right? Like of like a story arc between the series when they have the same actor.
Yeah.
Or sorry, when they move between actors, so it's a little bit different. But I don't know. Would you consider that a movie series, or is that more?
I think so.
Franchise, because
it's the same character technically, right? It's still James Bond. It's not like, a different person,
right?
So I would say yes. And the fact that it's been going for
50 years,
50 plus years now.
Yeah.
I guess 60 probably. So you have to have different people, clearly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that would count.
Okay.
We're going to count that.
Okay.
We're going to count that as a film series.
Okay. Because then my other Aaron, do you have a film series? We'll go round robin here. I like this.
Well, I was kind of going off of, because I had like the big feed that we watched like with me in theaters. If you're going to say 007, I have like a few, but the other one that I was going to say was the Spider-Man franchise. Even though because there was 3 with Tobey Maguire, and then there was 2 with that person, and then there's
Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield. Then there's going to be 3 with good at this,
new guy.
Yeah, I've literally seen his face like 1,000 times. But I was gonna say them because like the first 3 were kind of more like early Sony, kind of like the early stages of Marvel. Everything was still kind of like goofy and a little bit more lighthearted. I really like those. Especially kind of like I think it's like the first one with Dr. Octopus. That one was kind of my favorite. That was in the second one. I can't remember, but I would say those because they're still actiony. and they're still lighthearted, and like everyone can kind of sit down and watch them and be like, oh wow, like everyone can just enjoy them together. So I was going to say the Spider-Man series.
Okay. Yeah, I think that should count too. If we're going to count James Bond, the actor thing, we can count Spider-Man because he's still Peter Parker, right?
Mm-hmm.
So going through there.
Yeah,
I think more in the vein of Lord of the Rings or a Harry Potter series where you track the same characters through a true story arc between movies. Obviously, Star Wars would be one.
True. That's true. All of them, or are you going to...
yeah,
gonna whittle it down like the internet.
Right, the three,
the three ones. Okay,
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, the three Star Wars films. I don't.
I would also say like the Indiana Jones series.
That was gonna be the one I was gonna go to because I really like those.
Yeah.
They're pretty adventuresome.
Maybe not the fourth one.
The second one takes that weird turn.
Mm-hmm.
There's only 3 of those too, Aaron. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the fourth Crusade is always going to be my. The Last Crusade is always going to be my favorite one, just because Sean Connery.
Yeah, I do like that one.
And
true, yeah, he's so the Sean Connery, Harrison Ford. It's so good. They're so good together. It's so hilarious. Yeah. The whole dynamic they have in the movie is great. I know they're actually going to make a 5th one. I discovered.
I just heard that they're shooting a new one.
Yes. I will say, kind of, I don't know, I might have said this before. Like, the 4th one's fine, but it's just not like, it's definitely not as good as, like, Raiders, right? It's got a different vibe going. It kind of makes sense a little. If you think about it in context, it makes more sense, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, the original 3 are kind of stylized after like 1930s like serial action like books, or radio dramas. And they take place in the 1930s. Whereas the other one takes place in like the 50s. So it's like much more, it's got a different vibe going to it, right? It's more in line with like kind of like the 50s kind of like sci-fi vibe going on, so it kind of like adapted it to the decade a little bit. It doesn't necessarily land the same, I'll give you that, but it does have a thing happening. So we'll see if Indy 5 is interesting. I don't know, but yeah, I like the first 3 Indiana Jones movies. Pretty good.
What about, I'm going to throw out 2 different movie series for you.
Okay.
The Oceans movies.
Oh,
which
yeah.
I absolutely love.
Yeah.
All of them.
I don't think I've seen the 3rd. And then the new one with the ladies, right?
Yes.
I definitely didn't see that one.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure I saw the 3rd Oceans one.
I like all of them. Obviously, the first one.
Those are all pretty fun. Yeah.
Still hold.
I remember the first 2 were good.
Gosh, still love that. Because again, I'm trying to keep in line with family friendly or family this year because that's hard. Again, rolling through my Rolodex of ones. Because then the other one I was going to throw out there is Ghostbusters.
I don't want to say Rolodex. Sorry, what?
True. Yes, he did say Rolodex. It's fine.
Remember,
yeah,
I'm 80.
Nah.
We've established on this podcast. In universe, I'm 100.
In universe. I'm 80. That's true too. Ghostbusters are right. I don't know. I didn't. Is there enough Ghostbusters
I can
movies?
get behind
3 plus the new one.
Oh yeah.
Well, so there's the 2 old ones, and then there's one with an all-female cast, and I think they're coming out with a new one.
Oh, I thought there were 3 old.
Oh yeah, did that?
But
what?
No, never mind. Sorry, there were 2 old ones, and then the all-female cast.
Yeah, and there was a new one scheduled, and I lost count of that one during pandemic shutdown times because I can't remember if that one was getting ready to come out or getting ready to be. But I saw a trailer for that one, and I don't remember anything about. I saw a trailer for it, and then I haven't heard anything about it since then. So I don't know what happened to that movie. That's true. I forgot about that.
So many things happened like that all through COVID times of like was that supposed to come out last month, 2 months ago, or in 2 years? I don't understand. I don't know. Weird, like,
I got lost.
Warp, right? Where it's like so many things.
Yes. And it was like, it was coming, and they were like going to finish filming, but then like, oh no, just kidding. And I don't know if they went back and started again or like, yeah, I sort of like lost count. And as it went on and on, I sort of like just stopped paying attention. So I was like, well, I got other things to worry about now, I suppose.
So what movies?
But yeah, so I have to investigate.
Yeah. What other movies were on your list? Or did you come up?
Well, I was going to say indie. I was thinking about ones that I liked, and most of them are like I feel like the majority of movies they get to 3 and they're like done.
Yeah,
because the trilogy is like kind of the standard movie fare of telling the whole story. So it is rare, kind of, to get the extended out, like elongated versions, right, of this storytelling. So that's what makes like Harry Potter like an anomaly. I know they were doing off the books and everything, but it's still like different than how everything else kind of works.
Right.
So I was thinking like the only other one that immediately came to my mind when I was thinking about this the other day was Back to the Future. Right.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
That kind of works. But then I sort of drew a blank after that. And so that's why I wanted to ask you guys what your thoughts were on this. Because I was like, I mean, I guess technically there's 3 Ninja Turtles movies, but like those aren't good. So
that's what makes it hard. Because what I love about Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and Harry Potter is not just the story arc within each movie, but the total story arc across all of the movies. And
yes,
because I don't like it when each one is kind of its own separate pack thing. So that's kind of like how James Bond is a little like, I don't know, because same thing like the Bourne franchise or like even
those first 3 Bourne movies really do kind of go blah blah boom. And then there's that one with Jeremy Renner that I never watched.
Same.
And then there was a new Jason Bourne movie that I forgot to watch.
But things like
so I was like, I might watch that, and then I like never thought about it again.
Same thing with like Mission Impossible, right? Each movie is like, we're doing this thing, and like no real connection, like a light connection between like his wife or whatever things going on around things, but no like, you blew up that building last movie and now you're going to do this thing or whatever, right? Like that's the weird thing about the Fast and Furious movies, right? Yeah,
they sort of like they don't have any sort of cohesion, and it's just sort of like this movie's got Jason Statham. You're like, why? What? I don't know. Like this movie has this guy, or this movie has The Rock now. You're like, what? And then it's always just like, oh yeah, this is this guy's brother. You're like, what? Huh? Okay, I guess so. Like,
so with that, I will say we haven't mentioned any other than Land Before Time 114 series. Toy Story being a good to work through.
That's true too.
They do a wonderful job of connection between movies and purpose for things and other, storyline.
Yeah, I forgot about Toy Story. There we go. There's another one. Oh, yeah, they just had 4. I forgot the Toy Story 4 was a thing to us right now, too. Look at that.
Yeah. See, it's another one where it's not just 3.
Yeah, well, it was. So they're just like, oh, by the way, we're going to do 4.
Yeah. Currently. As it
Well, that's fine. Yeah, that's okay. I'd rather them, like, wait a long time between them and then make it actually connect to the rest of them and make sense as a whole storytelling medium than do, like, the Fast series where it's just like, oh, it's been 2 years, time for another one.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
but I don't want another one.
I don't.
It doesn't make sense. Every time I saw, when we went to the theater the other day, remember?
Yeah.
And they saw the trailer for that. I just remember watching it going, what? Why? What is happening?
Yeah.
It's just like somebody had an idea about a car chase. It would be funny. And then they made a whole entire movie about that. Like, that's
well, so apparently,
plot, I guess.
What? Where they had, where with these franchises like this, they'll buy stories from writers that were meant for one thing and then adapt them and mush them into.
Oh yeah, they like don't get picked up for something, and so they're cheap, and they buy the rights to them, and then they sort of smash them together.
Yeah, they're like, okay, I know you told this story with horses and in the Middle Ages, but what if we did it in Tokyo with drift cars? And you're like, what? They're like,
well, because I was going to make the comment about the Percy Jackson series.
Oh,
but like those. The movies aren't very good because I'm like, oh, that'd be a perfect one because it's adapted for like families. It's supposed to be a little more like.
That's true, and it's from a very large book series. Yes.
Yeah, but I think like studio stuff was like, nah, let's make it terrible, and so.
Did they finish that one? I know there was a glut of movies like that where the Hunger Games happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it was like Twilight happened. That's another one, but I didn't put that on the list because no. And then Hunger Games happened. And then they were like, oh, yes, YA. We must make every YA novel into a book or into a movie from a book, right? And so they just like started gobbling these up. And there's a couple that they made like 2. And they were so bad, nobody went to see them, so they just didn't make the 3rd movie.
Isn't that bad? Oh man, that just hurts.
It's like I think it was the Maze Runner they didn't finish. That's supposed to be like a whole big thing. That was it. Divergent, maybe. I don't think they finished that one either.
They don't think they ever finished that Divergent series.
I think they got. I think they did the first. They did like 2 or 3, and they didn't do the last one because like they just did such a bad job that nobody went and watched. And so they just cut their losses and stopped moving. So I feel like, yeah, the Percy Jackson, did they only just make one of those?
No, I think there's 2.
Is there?
What they are,
I haven't seen them.
but like,
I know one of them is the Lightning Thief because like a bunch of kids read that one, and then I don't know.
Yeah, because then I think beyond. Oh, okay. Well, okay. So what about Jurassic Park? Does that count?
Oh,
that
yeah.
Would count, right? Now
that would count.
They get a little weird for more modern ones. Like I don't know. Like things kind of went off the rails with Jurassic World for me when they came back in 2015 or whatever that was.
Okay. So I like that movie. I will defend Jurassic World. I mean, if Jurassic Park 2 exists. That movie makes no sense at all. Right. And it's all weird, and there's this big convoluted storyline. It's just like the Ian Malcolm show. But like it doesn't make any sense. And you're like, why is your daughter a gymnast? Like, what is happening? I don't understand. Like, at least Jurassic World is like, yes, dinosaurs eating stuff. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted.
Yes.
Like, is it dumb? More. Yes, absolutely. Does it have really stupid parts in it? Yes. Is it a really great popcorn movie? Yes. So like,
fair enough.
I didn't see the one after that, but I like Jurassic World.
Kingdom, Fallen Kingdom, Fall Kingdom, something like that.
I don't know.
Something like that,
Yeah, I didn't see that one. Again, I think I just forgot to. But like, I kind of like Jurassic World. It was good. I thought it was like exactly what a Jurassic Park movie should be. Like, was it as like suspenseful and creepy as the first one? No. But was it a good popcorn movie where dinosaurs are people? Yes. Okay, I will say I can't defend the whole side plot with the Vincent D'Onofrio character where they're like, but we can use raptors as like for the army. That's dumb. Okay, I can't defend that. I can't stand by that at all. That's ridiculous. It's the stupidest thing ever. But reminds me of that old like cartoon like Dino Riders, right, or whatever. I think I had a toy for that.
Yeah.
I mean, man, my brain's going down like really weird rabbit holes here. I'm really trying to hang on the thread of like movie for families because the other one that just popped into my head was Tremors.
Yeah.
Tremors 5 or something right now. They just released one.
Oh yes.
Because it's so hard to find one.
Those movies are
like
ridiculous.
Those, like, really campy sci-fi films. Like obviously there's 20 of them.
Yeah.
Or like the movie
because they're cheap to make, right? They don't.
The movie series for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or or Batman or whatever. Like, those are really common, but to find something that, again, I'm trying to put it in more perspective of Harry Potter. It's like, you're right. Like, really not any of those that are.
Yeah, there really isn't. Huh. Yeah. And then, again, most of them stop at 3. Yeah. They do the 3, sometimes 4, right? You get the 4. But a lot of them are just 3. And then they're like, okay, we're done. But again, they finished the story. So, like, you can't be mad at that. They're not, like, trying to draw it out or anything. So, well, sometimes they are. But, you know, it's a good length. The trilogy is a good length it's a good movie kind of length, right? You can kind of do the acts in certain parts that way. So it's a good structure for movies.
It is because usually they start kind of just tacking on stuff that and adding to the world that don't really be like. I'm thinking of just I don't know. I have not. I just admittedly I have not seen all of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. They're at 5 or. Like, there was talk of a 6th one at some point.
4.
I think.
No, there's 5.
Yeah, there's 5.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's 5
that are literally like almost 15 years apart. But
yeah.
So
I like the first one a lot.
Oh,
and then after that, I'm like,
yeah.
That'd be real.
I saw the 5th one and I was like, I don't. The 4th one was real weird. That's one was like, oh, now with completely new people, and there's like a mermaid lady. You're like, what? What? I don't know, huh? And the 5th one is not really very good, but dang it. Every time there's an action sequence and they play that stupid song, I'm like, yeah, let's go. What a good score will get you, right? Like,
true. They do.
Just get into it. Whenever that happens, you're like, yeah, go.
I think part of that is that
song's so catchy.
When those were really big, we were in high school marching band, and like all the big bands were doing the theme music, and it was always
that's
like,
true.
Oh, tuba.
Part of it. It's just so good. Such a good score that when it like comes on, you're like, oh, dang it. I have to enjoy this. This is so good. Adds a lot.
Well, I like this. This challenge is reminding me of the Top Gear challenge of buy a 2-door Ford Saloon that's not a BMW.
Oh yeah, right. It's
this is like a movie series that isn't Harry Potter, and we're all like, oh wow.
I don't know.
They're all kind of close, but not really as good. So,
but not really as good. Yeah, that's why I excluded Lord of the Rings too, because I knew we'd all be like, oh, that one clearly, like, duh. So I. Yeah, it's weird because when you think about because like you have those clear favorites, and then you're like, oh yeah, I guess there's these other ones. I suppose.
It really
They're
makes
fine.
me think. It's like pick your third most favorite ice cream. You're like, what?
That's a good point. That's a good analogy. I like that.
Why would I? Like, yeah, do it.
Do it.
Yeah, why would I? That's a good point. Like, well, I guess this one, I don't know. It's not the one I ever picked because I like this one better. So,
Why would I? Very confused.
yeah, it's okay.
So, well, there you go. That's the challenge. Third most favorite ice cream, and watch Clarkson Farm, and we will reconvene next time.
Sounds good.
Guys, love you.
I like it.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.